evening, everyone. It's good to see you guys already in the chat. We're streaming everywhere across multiple platforms. I will do my best to show all the comments from each of your platforms if you're not in YouTube on the video. But let's get started here. And I'm going to go ahead and start this out with a song by Tupac called Hold On, Be Strong. It is the Sick remix. Here we go. And then we'll get started. We got a lot to talk about.
When this whole beat drop, we just gonna run into him, man. It's all good. I never had much, run with my bad bunch. Little skinny kids sneaking weed in my bag lunch. And off the junior high, we wish to skip by and drive-bys, rob my homies of the young lives. I never did cry, and even though I had pain in my heart, I was hopeless from the start. They couldn't tell me nothing, they all tried to help me. The marijuana had my mind on, it wasn't healthy. I tried to take this cold case for the ill, yeah. I felt the pain and the rain, but I'm still here. Never did like the police, let the whole world know. Never gets no peace, cause they're chasing me down and facing me now. But do I do these things that a thug goes through? And still I rise to keep your head up and make your mind strong. It's a struggle every day, but you gotta hold on. Hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong, hold on. When it's on the song, hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong. When it's on the song, hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong. When it's on the song, hold on, be strong, be strong, be strong when it's on the zone. There's never a good day, cause in my hood they let their AKs pump straight where the kids play. And every Halloween, check out the murder scene. Can't help but duplicate the violence seen on the screen. My homies dying before they get to see their birthdays. This is the worst days, sometimes it hurts to pray. And even God turned his back on the ghetto youth. I know that ain't the truth, sometimes I look for proof. I wonder if heaven got a ghetto. And if it does, doesn't matter if you blood or you cousin. Remember how it was, the picnics and the parties and the projects. Small time drinking, getting high with the Marvies. Just another knucklehead kid from the gutter. I'm dealing with the madness, raised by a single mother. I'm trying to tell you when it's on. You gotta keep your head to the sky, be strong most of all. Hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong, hold on. When it's on, it's on. Hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong, hold on, be strong. When it's on, it's on. Hold on, be strong, be strong, be strong. When it's on, it's on. Hold on, be strong, be strong, be strong. When it's on, it's on. Hold on, be strong.
I know it make tears coming down your face.
Hold on,
wipe your eyes. In this world,
when it's on, it's on.
only the strong survive, sweetheart. I know it's hard out there. Welfare, AIDS, earthquakes, muggings, carjacking.
Hey guys.
We got problems. It's when it's on, it's on. But
believe me when I tell you, things always get better.
It's when it's on, it's on. But
God don't like ugly, and God don't like no quitters.
It's when it's on, it's on. But hold on.
You know what Billie Holiday said, baby. God bless.
All right, guys, welcome to this live stream today. Welcome, everybody. First, really quick, I just want everybody to know that I will be wearing only black shirts when I go live if I'm not on my green screen. So please don't think anything weird. I'm going to be wearing just plain shirts from now on. I like the way they look on camera. So I just want to mention that. I got a comment about it. Welcome everybody to this live. I'm going to be talking about, the latest that's going on in Minnesota, but more so, I'm going to be focusing in on Derek Chauvin, the cop, or the killer cop, the former officer that murdered George Floyd. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but protesters have gathered outside of his home. And essentially, at first there was really no police presence, no protection there or anything. And literally, Derek Chauvin kept calling DoorDash to try to get food delivered, and the crowd kept stopping the food deliveries. They basically were saying if he couldn't let George Floyd breathe, then why should he eat? There's a couple of videos I'm going to show you guys today. Basically, so now because protesters have begun to gather outside of this officer's home, which it's amazing to me that he's even in that home at the moment. The National Guard is now protecting him. You know, our tax dollars, hard at work, protecting this individual, this killer who still has not been charged with anything. Sorry, I didn't even get to shout anyone out in the chat. I'll definitely get to your guys' comments here, but we have a lot to go through today. So let's talk about, essentially the latest here in Minnesota. The protests continue. There is buildings that are on fire. We've got looting that's going on. It's your typical riots, essentially, that are still going on right now in Minneapolis. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and whip out some of this video and get straight to it to show you guys, the latest. It's going to be a news clip here. And then we're going to focus in on Mr. Derek Chauvin. And this very interesting video I seen of people that were outside his home. Could have been a very dangerous situation. Now, there is a photo flying around right now. Maybe you guys have seen this photo, okay? This photo was put out on social media. I don't know who is behind it, but they are claiming that this is a leaked photo of Derek Chauvin in a Trump Make Whites Great Again, or maybe that's Photoshopped, Make America Great Again. When I look at the stitching, it doesn't look Photoshopped to me, but I'm also hearing that this is not the actual police officer. So be really careful of the information that you digest on social media. Just don't take everything in like it's the gospel is all I'm saying. But yes, I'm aware of this photo, but I have been advised that this is actually not the officer. So I've been hearing a couple of people mentioning this photo, talking about him in this hat, but I'm just saying that there's no confirmation that that is actually Derek Chauvin in this leaked photo. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys. So let's get started here. I want to show you a video out of Minnesota. This is Minneapolis, CBS station out of Minneapolis. Let's go ahead and get this popping here. I want to show you what the latest is and what the police or what the news is saying about protesters being outside of his home. And of course, we may have some commercials here. Yes, of course we do, but that's all right. All right, here we go.
We're learning more about the now former officers who were involved in George Floyd's death. We go right to Christiane Cordero. She is at the scene at 38th in Chicago, where she was yesterday morning, with what she knows today. Christiane.
Well, Jason, we know that there were 4 responding officers. Initially, we understood that there were at least 2 of them. And we now at WCCO have confirmed the identity of one of those responding officers. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was one of the 4 who responded Monday night. He's represented by attorney Tom Kelly. Kelly represented St. Anthony police officer Geronimo Yanez, acquitted in the death of Philando Castile in 2017. We also learned Chauvin was put on leave at least once before. In 2011, he was one of 5 officers involved in a police shooting in Little Earth. In that case, we're told officers were responding to a shooting. The suspect fled, and when he didn't stop, he was shot in the torso. Minneapolis police later said that the officers acted appropriately and courageously. Very different reaction from MPD Chief Madera Arredondo when he fired Chauvin and his 3 colleagues yesterday.
I stand before you in the city of Minneapolis here to say that our deepest condolences. The vast majority of the men and women who proudly put on this uniform each and every day understand the important role and relationship we must have with all of our community members. And when tragedy strikes, it absolutely strikes to the core, and we should all be impacted by this.
There was a protest, a massive one here. Of course, you can hear a couple of people who actually just showed up just to show a little bit more of their support. There was also a smaller protest over in Oakdale at Derek Chauvin's home. We understand that about a few dozen people showed up there yesterday. Protesters said enough is enough, that they wanted to make their presence known. The chief of Oakdale Police also showed up. He said that given the circumstances, he understands why people are so upset. Jason.
Christian Cordero, thank you.
Okay, so you heard it there. So the same attorney, guys, the same attorney that defended the officer in the Philando Castile murder, that officer was acquitted, is now representing Derek Chauvin. We know that this happened, same state, and that says a lot to me. That says quite a lot to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you, video that has been released of protesters that are outside of Derek Chauvin's home. Give me just a second. Let me bring up this video here. Bear with me a second. Hold on. All right. So basically, the police are now protecting the home. I'm going to show this one, but there's one clip I've got to get the bookmark for it. But here, I want you guys to see this, how they're actually protecting his home. The sound is up, everyone.
All right,
what is all this for if it's a peaceful protest? What is all this for if it's a peaceful protest?
Behind the line, please, guys, behind the line.
Absolutely unnecessary. But the mayor, hold on, but the mayor requested, so it's okay. Excuse me. This ain't private, this public. This is in front of the police officer's house. This is at 7517 17th Street in Oakdale, Minnesota, in front of the actual officer's address that killed the police officer.
I will tell you right fucking now what we're doing. And that is the fact that my neighbors, my community, it's a fact. It takes for action to happen.
Look how many fucking people are defending this killer's house. Look how fucking many are defending this killer's house. Look how fucking many are defending this killer's house. Look how fucking many are defending this killer's house. Look how fucking many. Look how fucking many. Look how fucking many. Look how fucking many are defending this killer's house. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look how fucking many. They're defending a murderer's house. They are defending a murderer's house.
We live at the officer's house.
Tanika said the 70 to 80 police officers are starting to walk up this block right now. Yeah, I'm like, oh, we got about, there's about 20 of them right here.
All right, now guys, that is not it. That is not all of it. Okay. I need to show you additional video. This is actually, by the way, shout out to Heidi Fly, who's in the chat. Shout out to all of you in the chat. We've got over 125 people watching across Twitch, Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube. Christine Forrester, hi, it's really good to see you. Shout out to all my moderators. Now, this next video I'm going to show you is going to get everyone up to date on the current situation. This is right now, as it's going on right now in Minneapolis, these particular protests that are still going on. We've got looting happening. We've got, buildings burning, essentially. So let me go ahead and bring this up, and we're going to show you this here. All right. Now, I am not sure. There is no audio for this. All right, let me see if I can find some with some audio, because we've got multiple news stations that are showing these protests, but I want one with audio in it. So give me a second here. So what I'll do. Actually, give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Here we go. See if there's sound in this one. No, it seems like there is no sound in a lot of this footage.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Biden. Now let
me skip this commercial. Trying to save y'all the grief of it all, but let's see here. There is no sound. That's okay. What I can say is these protests continue at this point, but let's focus on Mr. Derek Chauvin a little bit here. Now, what I want to talk about a little bit is the former incidents that he's been involved with before. Okay, I think that is really important, and I want to show you guys this. He actually has already murdered a man. He's already took a life before.
Officers have been identified. Tonight, we're learning more about their history with the Minneapolis Police Department. Our Jennifer Merrily joins us live with that part of the story. Jen?
Frank, we've learned 2 of the officers were newer to the force with just a few years of experience, but it was the most veteran officer on the scene that was in direct contact with George Floyd. Derek Chauvin is the former officer in the video seen around the world with his knee on George Floyd's neck. He'd been with Minneapolis police for 19 years. Tou Thao is standing, facing the people watching, who are calling on the officers to help Floyd. Originally hired by the city in 2008. WCCO has learned the other former officers, Thomas Lane and J. Alexander King, were paired together, joining Minneapolis police more recently in 2019 and 2017. The department tells us that's not optimal, but it's not against policy. For a second date, protesters showed up at Derek Chauvin's Oakdale home, saying they want him to feel their presence. It's unclear if his family is staying there. Chauvin has been involved in use of force situations before. According to a Pioneer Press article, Chauvin shot a man during a domestic assault call in 2008. According to reports, the man had reached for Chauvin's gun. And as we reported, in 2011, he was one of 5 officers cleared after a police-involved shooting in Little Earth. Tou Thao was sued along with another officer in 2017 for excessive force. The complaint alleges Thao threw the handcuffed man to the ground and began hitting him. In his deposition, Thao said he went through the police academy in 2009, was laid off for 2 years, and came back to the force in 2012. The case was settled for $25,000. We have requested the personnel files for the former officers. We expect to learn even more once those are released. We have contacted the attorneys for each of the 4 men. So far, no comment. Frank.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you.
I mean, isn't that something? This guy's, previous history. It just is so disgusting that he was able to even retain a position. Continue to retain his position.
Your bank can be virtually any place you are.
I can
deposit checks from here, and you can see your transactions.
My apologies. So it's crazy because although there was 2 officers that were much newer to the force, Derek Chauvin had the most experience, and he was the veteran officer. So for the veteran officer to sit there for literally 8 minutes with his knee in George Floyd's neck, and he knew he was pulling, he was doing a jiu-jitsu move, a move that was very deadly. It was not sanctioned by the police at all. Now, did you all see the interview that was done with I believe Chris Cuomo and one of the men that was there at the scene? I don't know if you all have seen that, but I would like to show that to you. Let's see if we can find that video, because it was so heartbreaking seeing this young man just totally breaking down. It was really, really, really sad. Let me see if I can find it. Chris Cuomo, George Floyd. There is an interview that he did with this man. Let me see if I can find it really quick. If I'm not able to, I'll search for it. Nope, found it. Here we go. Here we go. I want you guys to listen to this. Watch this.
Talking to each other about why they couldn't just move him and get him out of the situation.
Bro, they wanted to kill that man, bro. Like, I'm being 100, bro. They didn't speak. They didn't say nothing. The views in his eyes, bro. The man had his knee on his chest, bro. He knew what he was doing. His shimmies in my man's neck, bro. He knew what he was doing. It's just like having a jiu-jitsu choke. If I'm here, I'm shimmying, I'm shimmying, I'm shimmying, I'm shimmying, boom, my choke's on there. I told him it was a blood choke. He knew it was a blood choke. He looked at me when I said it. He put his head down. He did not make any more gestures. Did not say any other thing. And the two other towers that was on the other side of the car, I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know about it until I got videos in my social media and things like that. So they was intent to smother my man and kill my man. And I seen it. I seen it in his eyes. I seen it in his demeanor. And I seen it in their movement. And Officer Tao didn't partake in it, but he had control of what was going on the other side of that car for me not to see what was going on. Because the people that know me personally know how I am. And I'm a controlled athlete. I'm a controlled person. You know, I have different levels to who I am. And
People are angry right now.
Out there in front of the world. Got letters, notes from multiple people that know me from growing up in the city that said I was the most controlled they ever seen in my life. As I've seen another man that looked like me, that feels like me, that got the same complexion as me, lose his life to another man that had no senseless. He had no feeling. He had no remorse. He had in him. He had no feeling. I don't even think he had a heart at that moment. And he's going to feel that for the rest of his life. Just like I'm going to hear my man say this. I can't breathe. I want my mama. And I'm coming to find out that this man died 2 years on the day that his mom died. I'm a mama's boy, bro. Like, that hurts me deep down inside, bro. And like, something needs to be done or something.
That interview had me in tears. I literally was in tears after I seen that. And guys, I don't understand. That was more, that man is, to me, it's like, that's just being a demon. So evil what he did. Now, I did find video. I need to show you guys this. This is the current status as the protests continue in Minneapolis. I did find some footage here. So give me just a moment here and I'm going to bring that up. It looks like they are going ham right now. So let me share this with you guys. And I'm finding a lot of this on Facebook. It seems that, let me see, make sure I've got the right window here. It seems like there's quite a lot of really good footage on Facebook. They're protesting in New York. They are protesting in Colorado. This is good. I'm glad that they are protesting in all of these locations. All right, let me see here. Okay, got it. So many tabs open, you guys. Here we go. This is going on right now.
They stand with a motherfucking murderer. Look at them. No shit, America. Look, America. I want to show y'all this. I want y'all to look around and see the point energy. Look around, see the point energy. Yeah, flag them down. Hey, I'll flag other people down too. Hey, I need help. I need help. Fuck you talking about. Look, y'all. Look around. Ain't no black face out here. They don't hire black people in Minnesota. They don't fuck with us. Look. Look. Man, no, I'm looking at you. I'm looking.
You know, people are angry here.
This George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Floyd, look at this fucker.
And really respect the motherfucking case. This ain't about no goddamn black folks. This is about black fucking power.
Yeah. It's not even about that, man. It's about human fucking rights, bro. It's about human rights, bro. They killed the man. They killed the human, man. Nobody give a fuck about that. What's up, dog?
He's a social justice.
I'm glad they right here, man. I'm glad I don't know what he talking about. He just talking now. I don't know what buddy on. I just walked away. I don't know what he talking about. Y'all see this, man? What's up, man? Y'all care? They care. We care in Minneapolis, y'all. This ain't nowhere else in America. We care up here. See that? Everybody out here. Hey, bro, no disrespect. Hey, bro, y'all care? What? Y'all care? No, I said, do y'all care? Why y'all out here?
Oh, yeah, we done had this stuff for justice, bro.
Right.
We ain't got time for all that shit.
Right.
There's too much going on, dog.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
Yeah.
Dawn, I do have a video I am about to show of protesters outside of Derek Chauvin's home. And, you know, again, there are many people that are live on Facebook. That's really going to be the best place to really find these lives. But I wanted to show you just currently today what is going on. Now, what I want to show you right now is what I'm more interested in, which was the protest that happened outside of Mr. Derek Chauvin's home. And shout out to the individual, Joshua Pylan Elbay, who shot this footage. Oh man, there was a lot. And you know, this is still going on. They actually have the National Guard protecting this man, as I showed you guys earlier. But let's take a look at this footage and get a feel for it. These people literally went to his home. The protesters are literally gathered at his home.
A fucking like vacation home or something. Right there, because it was on the website.
And Derek Chauvin works like a security job as well as being a cop. He has two different jobs. Look at that crowd around his home.
Oh, the Met from Floyd? I mean, when he tried coming back to Chipotle, and I was trying to put my word out for him to get him back, and he blew me off. So.
Shout out to Randy. That is a great comment. Real talk right there. We've got over 165 people watching across all platforms. Please subscribe to stay up to date with me on this journey with me and with the world. So I appreciate all of you that are watching.
George Floyd, right? Yep.
Shout out to y'all on Periscope, on Twitch, Facebook, and on YouTube. Shout out to you guys, all of you.
One of the officers says that he's not home. If you guys want my life, the third precinct. Just over here to keep those going on.
Much love, Derek. Much love. Yes, the police are guarding him. I will show that again.
I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Well, they're saying
I can't breathe. I can't
one of the police officers we talked to.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
You can see the guy. It looks like he's an actor.
outside like that. That's all right. Go ahead.
We all just want justice. And as you can see, the boys in blue, the police,
We all don't stop killing. We won't
they're
stop
not here
protesting.
to do justice. They literally ally protecting this murderer because they're the same fraternity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
All right. All right.
This is the year we make a change, though.
All right. All right. All right. The roads are blocked off. The people are still coming in for justice. I love it. I love it. Keep coming, keep tweeting, keep sharing. Share the address. Get them out, get them out, get them out, bring them out. That's right, get them out, bring them out. We are out here. No KKK, no racist USA. No cop, 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 no KKK, no racist USA. No KKK, no racist USA. No cop, no KKK, no racist USA. No KKK, no racist USA. No cop, 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 no KKK, no racist USA. All right, okay, let's go home. Let's go home. We have American slave. This is the house right here? Yeah. Okay. That's not. Well, I see the garbage cans are still out. The garbage cans are out this morning and yesterday. So there's probably someone in there, but he's probably been relocated to a safe place.
All right, now.
His statement for 3 days while they put their lives together.
I want to show you something else here, okay? Now, the woman that was there at the scene when George Floyd was murdered was actually did somewhat of an interview. I wouldn't call it an interview, but she was back at the scene. And I want to show you this because it was just so heartbreaking because she's the one that made the recording. Apparently she captured the recording on her phone as well. Her name, oh gosh, I know it starts with the D here. Darnella, I believe. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart there. Let me show you this. She's going to come up here in just a moment.
They didn't get fired this morning just for no reason. They should have been fired yesterday. But us, as we stand here and coming together, we are making history. This is just the beginning, and we have so much farther to go. He needs to be escorted away from this protest. He needs to be escorted away from the protest. This is not what we're going to do violence. We're going to do this the correct way. Please, we ask you specifically, this is possible. Please take this away.
Hold on just a second. Wait a minute. Yeah. So there was a longer, there she is. I mean, it's so horrible. Darnella Frazier, that's her name.
Oh my God. I posted a video last night and it just went viral. And everybody gasped. How I feel, I don't know how to feel. Because it's so sad, bro. This man was literally right here at 8:00 p.m. yesterday. I'm walking my cousin to the store, and I just see him on the ground. I'm like, what is going on? I pull my camera out. This man could not breathe at all. He's like, please, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And they did not care. They killed this man. And I was like 5 feet away. And it's so traumatizing.
All right, so this here is yesterday, actually. This particular footage was taken very close to Derek Chauvin's home. Shout out to Alert Culture, who's been on this, but this is before like the bigger crowds got there, and you can literally see people just, you're going to see they're playing, they're going to start playing music, they're going to do everything they can to disturb Derek Chauvin, everything possible to disturb him. He makes orders from DoorDash, and the crowd, you know, is not even letting his food orders in, literally. So I encourage you guys to go watch this live. Alert Culture. This was the beginning of when people started showing up. And I've got one more video, guys. You know, I like to, Darnella Frazier is her name, Crystal. Darnella Frazier. Jorge, we're talking about George Floyd.
Somebody's gonna have to come out sometime. He about to be hungry at some point. Can't hide for that long. He even disconnected his doorbell. Fucking coward.
So he's coming out, you know, the door. But you see, there's no presence there at this time. There's no National Guard presence outside the home at this particular time. Hey, Patricia.
She's having just cut my live. Hello? What's up?
You spelled it right. Ain't that some shit? Yep, you spelled it right. This is Derek Chauvin's home. This is the cop, former cop that killed George Floyd. No, he has not been arrested yet. Shout out to those on Periscope that are watching.
Yep, it is, Josh.
Thank you, Nikki. Much love, baby. We got over 200 people watching us right now.
Yeah, Myron, it is.
Across multiple platforms. So Yes, we do a lot of investigations here on this channel. Yeah, no arrest has been made as of yet. Shout out to all my Periscope watchers. No, he does not deserve any protection. I'm surprised he's even at the house, you guys. You know, I really am. And mods, you know, let people express themselves. Like a comment such as this. It's okay to, you know, if you see something like that in the chat, it's okay. I don't want to block anyone because everyone has feelings, but you know the line. If it gets too crazy, just time people out.
17th Street in Oakdale.
Yes, he is actually in the house, King Bully. Yes, he is in the house. Yes. Yes. He actually keeps coming outdoors to the porch. All 4 of these officers should be arrested. Absolutely. Now, this is how it began.
7517 17th Street North in Oakdale. Right behind Carmike Movie Theater.
Hey, Bobby Joe. Wow, the chat's going kind of fast for me here.
All the windows shut.
Exactly. Thank you. I'll look into that. Let's see. There was one comment. Thank you, Felicia Hatcher Brown.
I said they got all types of
Yeah, yeah. He has absolutely been doxxed. His address is all over the place. Multiple addresses, but you guys, I don't want you putting his address in the chat. It's already out there. If you really, really want to find it, all you got to do is go to Twitter, and you doesn't take much, but don't put it in the chat. But yes, he has been doxxed. This is his home, and you can see people are starting to protest, but it gets so much worse.
Oh, they're having a party over there in their driveway. Look at them. They're just watching. We just lived next to a murder. It's all good. No big deal. Out here in the tornado, it's all good. Obviously, if I was a pro here. 7517 17th Street North in Oakdale, y'all. Oh, Sue, he definitely has a history. 2 people already. Doubt he'll get away with the 3rd. in the house just looking at us. How cute. Don't even say nothing. Doorbell unplugged. Unplug the doorbell. Not answering the door. Fucking coward.
It's amazing that they even attempted to ring his doorbell.
Tracy, the police have already been out here. There's not shit they can do about it. Nobody's doing anything wrong.
So I want to kind of build this up and show you how this graduates into a much, much larger crowd.
Lauren, the police said it was just canceled.
See, they were playing music. They were doing everything possible.
That poor person, Nicole, this man killed somebody. It's the last place he should be. How you want DoorDash to come to your house? He thinks the fucking storm's going to stop somebody from coming here.
So, all right. So we've got that. Okay. Now I want to show you how this crowd absolutely totally escalated. It was huge. Let me show this out to you really quick. This is literally outside of his home as it went into nightfall. Let's see here. There we go. There was, they say, I hear estimates of like 1,000 people were there. So this is what it graduated into.
Tanika said 70 to 80 police officers are starting to walk up this block right now. Yeah,
yes, this was last night.
There's about 20 of them right here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What you guys
Wow.
For sure.
Wow, so there's a protest. Clinton's Coalition for Justice has organized a protest Saturday starting at 2 in South Minneapolis at the Kmart parking lot. There's something happening. I'm not sure the status of that. It may be a caravan. There is a protest at 2 o'clock Saturday, organized by Clinton's Coalition for Justice for Jamal. You can find it on their page, on the Clinton's Coalition for Justice for Jamal Facebook page. Go there for updates on that Saturday. I got a call on my way over here. There's an action organized for Friday at 5 at the downtown at the government building.
Only if you can carry legally.
I haven't seen it yet. I just got a call from some organizers for that event. So just want to keep you posted. People continue to ask you, like, where can we be? What's next? Those are some things that are coming up soon. So, but some of you may not have been here in action. And you are amazing. This is truly love in action. So, well, we got some little action over here.
Oh, wow, China.
Because that's what we do.
Wow, I didn't know
Anyone
that.
have a certain chant that they want to do? They want to hear?
Stand up, I ain't taking no more.
Oh, yes.
Stand up.
Can't take it no more. I'm
We outside the police officer's house.
Can't take it no more. I'm fed up. Can't take it no more. 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 I'm fed up. Can't take it no more. I'm fed up. Can't take it no more. 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 I'm fed up. Can't take.
All right. So you see how that graduated into a large, very large crowd. And then I want to show this real quick so that everyone knows and understands that now the National Guard is guarding this man's home. They are outside now guarding his home because of this. It is disgusting. I don't see why our tax dollars should have to pay for this.
Or if it's a peaceful protest.
Nothing's happening here. Nothing's happening. It's peaceful. It's peaceful. Peaceful demonstration. All right, platoon.
What is
That's
all
some
this for if it's a
bullshit.
peaceful protest?
That's bullshit.
What is all this for if it's a peaceful protest?
You gotta be kidding me.
Behind the line, please, guys. Behind the line.
But the mayor, hold on, but the mayor requested, so it's okay. Excuse me. This ain't private, this public. This is in front of the police officer's house. This is at 7517 17th Street in Oakdale, Minnesota, in front of the actual officer's address that killed the police officer.
I will tell you right now, and that is the fact that my neighbors, my community, have been it takes for action to happen.
Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Seriously. And this is after we find out that there was no resisting arrest. George Floyd did not even resist arrest. They lied on the initial police report. So yeah, hey, it's Zaza, it's good to see you. People are very, very angry, and this is a culmination of many police brutality killings, even in the Minneapolis area, even in the state of Minnesota. There's been several in the last few years. So that is what is going on right now. In this case, there's still no charges at all whatsoever, and we await word on whether any charges will come about. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of people going to jail for inciting a riot. Guys, somebody was actually killed last night. I don't know if you're aware of this. Someone was actually shot last night. So there is one person dead from these riots. So everyone, please be careful. Please take care of yourself. But remember what Martin Luther King said, a riot is the language of the unheard. And that's real talk. I appreciate all of the viewers today from across multiple platforms. We've had over 200 people here in the room today. Thank you all for joining this live and watching this and viewing it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will continue to bring these videos to you guys. I appreciate all of you, and much love to all my moderators as well. And you guys have a really good night. If anything pops off, you guys know that my main place where I go live is LeakYou.com on YouTube. Sometimes I'll stream from my phone, and it will not stream to Periscope or Facebook, right? Because StreamYard, you can't initiate anything from the mobile device to start a live. So just be aware. But I also have my website, LeakYou.com, and I've got some updates I need to do as far as getting some of my content up, to the site. But you can always Instagram me at LeakYou, LeakYou. That's typically the banner that you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. And by the way, I wanted to say thank you. I received a Cash App from someone yesterday. Let me thank this person, because you can't say anything back when you get something. Hold on. Yes, Taurus Vibes. Shout out to you. Thank you for the Cash App. I really do appreciate that. I don't know if I've gotten any PayPals, but I guess I better check while I'm here to thank you guys. I know Josie had sent one. That was very kind of you. And honestly, I pay $50+ a month just for the software to stream across multiple platforms. So really, the donations I get, they don't really cover my costs. So I appreciate anything that's sent for my platform. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining again, and I think that's all that I need to say at this point. I will continue to keep you guys updated. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks, everybody.